To this bill now aimed at cracking down on predators traveling across state lines to sexually exploit children. This is a bill that has been stalled in Congress for 1 full year. The state of Utah, however, is investing in education for kids on sexual abuse prevention. To mark Child Abuse Prevention Month, the governor of Utah signed a bill into law that ensures full funding for students up to the 6th grade. So this is a very, very important topic. Obviously, I want to talk more about it now with Emily Bell McCormick, who's the founder of the Policy Project, an organization who was leading that effort we talked about out in Utah. Emily, thank you for coming on. Let me put up on this bill that was stalled. I want to start there, and then we'll go to Utah. It's interesting. For a full year, they say, Preventing Child Sex Abuse Act 2023. Here it is. They want to strengthen national tip line. They want, to collect reports of online exploitation, require evidence to be preserved for a longer period of time, give law enforcement more time to investigate. Someone like you does a lot of work. It sounds good, right? I mean, what's going on here? Do you know?
Yeah, no, this is a huge deal. It's extremely important to our kids. I think this bill in particular is really about online exploitation of children. And I think a lot of families in the United States are very passionate about that here. In the U.S., 1 in 4 girls is sexually abused before the age of 18 and 1 in 20 boys. So it's actually quite prevalent. This bill is really great. It basically provides $63 million in funding to essentially update the whole process for law enforcement to work on these cases. Right. The big issue is that you have predators who are really using all of the technological advances to really get into it, to really exploit children, whereas our law enforcement have not updated their technology to be able to catch up with them.
That's the case in so many different areas where it's just hard to keep up with the technology. But, like we said, they're trying out in Utah. They're trying to do something. I want to go to the Lieutenant Governor, Deirdre Henderson, for a moment to talk a little bit about this, and we'll come back and talk about particularly what's happening in Utah. Here she is.
This is a really complicated, touchy, sticky topic, and I just appreciate the way the Policy Project handled it.
Talking about all the work that you were doing and your group was doing on this. I mean, someone has to, as they say. It's Child Abuse Prevention Month, Sex Abuse Prevention Month. More awareness needs to be raised about this. What's next here? What else are you trying to work on?
Yeah, so this is just such a cool model that states can use. I think a lot of times when we think about any type of abuse, we're usually dealing with the back end of a problem, like how do we get this person into counseling or therapy? And I think the new idea and trend with abuse prevention is really looking at how, or with abuse, is to look at prevention. Like how do we go to the front end of this problem and stop it before it even happens? So the model in Utah that we use is just so cool, and we're seeing other states develop a lot of interest in this, is providing funding so that kids in elementary schools, like K through 6, essentially have access to learn, like, what is appropriate. A lot of times kids don't know. 90% of the time, abuse actually is with someone the child knows. So it's not a weird, creepy guy in a white van with no windows. It is someone the kid knows and trusts. And so helping kids understand, like, what is appropriate, and then identifying some people that they can talk to if something happens. So the big, the big issue there is getting the funding to make it happen. 26 states already have some type of allowance for prevention of child abuse in elementary schools. We just want to get that fully funded.
So it's interesting about being, one of the things I think that we struggle with a lot of areas is whether we're being reactive instead of proactive, which is what you're talking about, right? So we're something happens, it's terrible, and we put a law in place to solve it. And you're talking about getting out ahead of that. I guess the only thing that surprises me that we weren't doing much of this already, right? And we weren't, not enough.
Right. I think that what you find is, when you're working on Capitol Hill, either nationally or at a state, kids are the only group that cannot represent themselves, right? And so a lot of times the issues that are surrounding children are dealt with last. They're last in line because they're not there to represent themselves. And so I think with this issue, it was a combination of, with child sexual abuse, it's a combination of the kids can't represent themselves. And additionally, we don't like to talk about it. This is a brutal topic. No one wants to think that this could happen. No one wants to believe it. Yeah. It makes us feel weird inside. And so I think, it's just time that nothing changes until we really just open up the conversation and start chatting about it.
Right. The whole point of a month like this is to raise awareness, which is exactly what you're doing, although I know you do it all year round. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.